in powder, encapsulated, and voila. Our fruits and veggie supplements are made just for you.
Don't worry, I'm here. Trying to unwind my headphone cord. Can't do a show without headphones. So thanks for joining us today. And we'll get rolling here momentarily if I can get these headphones unraveled. With tales of how Columbus is going to spend $100 million on its new immigrant refugee commission. No. To end crime in the city. They have a much better reason to spend $100 million in the city of Columbus. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. So here comes the band, and away we go. Thanks for joining us. A Wednesday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Boy, we got a lot of headlines related to Trump's cabinet picks and Democrats wigging out, and perhaps the greatest case of infighting in the Democratic Party that I've heard, although, it's only been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago today, I greeted you with news that Donald Trump was going to be the 47th president of the United States. And apparently it takes longer than a fortnight to work through the 5 stages of grief among some Democrats who almost came to blows yesterday on Piers Morgan's show. But we'll get to all that. We start with a question that I have. How do you guys handle major expenditures in your household? Do you undertake a major expenditure before you know how you're going to pay for it? You wouldn't have to worry about that if you had access to an endless supply of money from others. That is, of course, the way things work with the city of Columbus, which can always, increase taxes on you, me, and come up with whatever money it needs. Nevertheless, they don't always have to budget, ahead of time to make sure that they can pay for things. Story today in the Dispatch caught my eye that the downtown Capitol line will begin its $100 million pedestrian project very soon downtown. It got $10 million from the state, which is to say from you and me, because that's where the state gets its money. And the people behind the project say, and I'm quoting directly from Jim Weiker's story, they do not have an estimated cost yet for the first phase of the project along Gay Street. But they're just going to go ahead and start anyway. Start ripping stuff up and start making downtown even more difficult to navigate than it already is. We've told you about this massive project before. I find it interesting that we get detailed on this one day after the city council applauded itself for establishing an immigrant and refugee commission. Will that be funded with $100 million? We had a guy last night shot and killed in Columbus when he tried to intervene when he saw another person breaking into cars on the northeast side. So this Good Samaritan sees someone breaking into cars in the 2700 block of Jester Lane on the northeast side. The guy who was breaking into the cars had a gun and shot the guy saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" or "Stop doing that," or something to that effect. And now that person who tried to intervene and stop people from being victimized by a crime, he is dead. He is dead. They do not have the person who shot him, but presumably, I hope, there's video and they can track this person down and bring him to justice. Speaking of justice, I told you yesterday that the attorneys for a former Columbus police officer, Adam Coy, are seeking a new trial. He was convicted of an assortment of crimes related to the shooting of Andre Hill in December of 2022, I believe that happened. But the attorneys for Adam Coy say, wait a second, you on the prosecution side interviewed 2 expert witnesses in this case, people who are well-versed in police shootings and whether they're justified or unjustified. And you only brought the testimony of one of those experts to trial. In fact, you didn't even tell us on the defense side about Jamie Borden, who I've looked up online, and he is the founder of an organization called critical incident review. Now, I've reached out to Mr. Borden, who was paid $5,000 by the city of Columbus or Franklin County for his expert testimony. But the other guy whose testimony they used was paid $11,000. Now, I interacted with some police sources yesterday and some people at the FBI here in town, and they say that this is an egregious case by the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office of keeping this a secret from Adam Coy's defense attorneys. And that would make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, if you are the city of Columbus and you are Franklin County and you've already paid Andre Hill's family $10 million because his shooting was, in your mind, unjustified, it would be kind of embarrassing if Adam Coy went to court and was found to have shot Andre Hill within the parameters that are allowed by law for police officers. Police officers, the other person that a police officer shoots doesn't have to have a gun, and Andre Hill did not. It was a very unfortunate incident that Adam Coy's testimony is that he mistook a key ring in the hand of Andre Hill when Andre Hill held his hand up. Adam Coy testified, I don't know what's in his heart, but he testified that he thought it was a gun. So they kept this testimony of this other expert witness who they paid $5,000, less than half as much as they paid the other guy whose testimony they liked. So I'm trying to get to Jamie Borden to find out what he told him. I don't know if he'll talk to me or not, but we shall see. But it's clear you got $10 million to give to Andre Hill's family in advance of a verdict, which I would argue clearly prejudices a jury against Adam Coy. You got $100 million to spend on a pedestrian project downtown to make the city look beautiful to walk in. And then you establish a refugee immigrant commission where all the members will be appointed by council and all of them will be immigrants. But are you going to ever do anything to make the city safer? Like this project downtown, I mean, it sounds really spiffy. A 2-mile loop along Gay, Rich, and 4th Streets will cross the river and close the loop on Bell Street in Franklinton. Ranging from what is now 12 feet to nearly 29 feet wide, it will include landscaping and will replace street space, including parking lanes. Because, I mean, who needs parking downtown? We got ample parking, don't we? We're building apartments in the short north where we're not even including parking for the people who will live there. This is democratic urban planning, ladies and gentlemen. Council President Shannon Hardin, I stand corrected. The Capitol line is a game changer for our city. The head of the project says, this won't be just dull sidewalks. It will be lively. Who doesn't love a lively sidewalk? It will have greenery, art components. It will be fun, not just how you get somewhere. Well, I'm all for fun in getting somewhere. I'm also for getting there alive and safely, not being mugged, and not being shot. And I would feel better if downtown were safer. How many drive-by freeway shootings have we had in the past year? I think I lost count at 3. So here we go. They're going to spend this money. They don't know how much the first phase is going to cost. Would you bet right now that before this is completed by the end of 2026 or early 2027, would you bet that it will come in at or under $100 million, or would you bet that it will come in over that? What will it connect? Scioto Mile Riverfront, National Vets Memorial and Museum, Columbus Commons, Ohio State House, the Peninsula, Dorian Green Park, COSI, and the sculpture at Gay and High Streets. I'm not against art. I'm not against beauty. I'm not against fun. I'm just against waste. And I'm against misplaced priorities. And this seems like a colossal case of both to me. But they're going to do what they're going to do. I just resent that I have to pay for it. And that you have to pay for it. Why are they doing it? It says the Capitol line is a response to community suggestions in the 2022 Downtown Columbus Strategic Plan to activate and invigorate the downtown pedestrian experience and to offer protected bike lanes. Okay, I ride my bike. I ride my bike on country roads. I suppose if I lived downtown, I would really enjoy having protected bike lanes. But is this going to advantage more people than it disadvantages, or is it going to disadvantage more people than it advantages? I treasure my life and safety, so I don't spend 1 second longer downtown than I need to. So I can't really say how easy it is to navigate downtown, but I spent a fair amount of time downtown in years past, and it strikes me that it's not the easiest area to navigate. You got one-way streets, you got, well, we had for a while, we had street racing downtown and all kinds of stuff. We've got mammoth construction down there in, what is that, the Brewery District, just off I-70, the freeways all torn up. Is it going to be better, make life better for the most number of people? And this is what it is about when you serve in a public position. You cannot always come up with a perfect solution that's perfect for everyone. What you're charged with doing is making, first of all, complying with the law. Second of all, spending your money prudently. And third of all, hopefully, not disadvantaging the majority for the minority. Okay, so that's what I see here with this money. I've decried this from the very beginning. I will continue to, because it just doesn't seem, in a city that has all the problems that Columbus does, a judicious use of taxpayer money.
Hours breezy this afternoon, turning colder, the high 57, temperature sliding into the 40s. A shower in the area this evening, otherwise parts of the mostly cloudy, breezy, cold, low 33. Windy and colder tomorrow, some snow, 1 to 3 inches, high 37. Friday, clouds and breezy, showers could mix with snow early, the high 45. Some sun, then turning cloudy on Saturday, high Saturday at 47. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Are you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your foremost metal roofing authority in Central Ohio, I can promise you it's the most inexpensive roof you'll ever buy because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com.
She's unafraid and unapologetic. She's Laura Trump, and she's shaking things up on the Right View podcast.
Thanks for joining us today, guys.
That there was no cheating in this election, but then for Donald Trump to win the popular vote, history was made in so many different ways. To witness it, it's quite a time to be alive, and it really, truly is.
Subscribe to the Right View podcast with Laura Trump today on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com. Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
I had quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
I figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. I had to go in and come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. You don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Okay.
800-965-1433. Optima Tax Relief.
Hi, I'm Paul George with Keller Williams Greater Columbus Realty, host of the Paul George Real Estate Show, broadcasting every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 98.9 The Answer. Using over 30 years of trusted real estate agent experience in Central Ohio, I'll share invaluable insights into the ever-evolving local real estate market, provide you with current trends, and bring industry experts who will share their wisdom on the art of buying and selling homes. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Quick question. Did you know that the conservative news and talk content that you're currently enjoying on this station and online is supported by advertisers? Here's another one for you, and this one is for our business audience. Are you aware that our loyal listeners eagerly engage with our advertisers because they know that these advertisers share their values and care about our programming as much as they do? Listeners, tell your favorite businesses about us. And business owners, contact us today to create and implement strategies that drive people to connect and engage with you, helping you grow and experience the value of long-term loyal customers. Join with us today to continue spreading the good word.
To learn how to reach our audience with your business's message and support this station, contact Carl and Cassidy at 614-318-0401 or click on the Advertise With Us banner at 989theanswer.com. That's 989theanswer.com.
Hey, here's a little something for your Christmas stocking, although it's going to have to be a pretty robust stocking to hold $18,000. What I'm talking about is the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes Grand Prize. You could win it if you register, and your better chances are if you register once per day or even more than once per day at 989theanswer.com. Yes, the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. We've done this now for 6 previous years. This is the 7th. And so you should know how to enter by now. Just go to 989theanswer.com. You can enter once per day if you have a little bit more time to spend on the website. They'll offer you some bonus activities where you can gain additional entry forms. We will pay, if you're the grand prize winner, up to $18,000 toward your mortgage. You say, well, that's not fair. I don't have a mortgage. I pay rent. That's okay. You can use the $18,000 to pay your rent too. $18,000 grand prize, the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Enter today, maybe more than once, at 989theanswer.com. Oh, I got to admit, 2 weeks ago today, I thought I'd play nonstop audio of Democratic freakouts in the aftermath of Donald Trump winning another term in the White House. And I told you, I stayed up till 3:30, and it was just mainly just stream of consciousness, inability to articulate anything, as Joe Scarborough would say, cogent on MSNBC and CNN. But here we are 2 weeks out, and the effort to get to the bottom of what happened continues. And one of the people who predicted that Kamala Harris would win the election is a gentleman by the name of Alan Lichtman. He is the inventor of the keys to the White House model, which has been trumpeted as a great metric for who's going to win the election. And he said Kamala Harris would win the election. Well, she did not win the election. She did not win a single swing state. She got trounced. And so Alan Lichtman has been on various media outlets ever since, being asked why. And he has blamed Fox News, other conservative media outlets, and podcasts for spreading misinformation. And he also blames Elon Musk for controlling X, the evil billionaire. Are there other social media platforms not owned by conservatives? Or I don't even know if Elon Musk is a conservative. He's a Trump supporter. Yes, there are. Seems to me Joe Biden won in 2020 with Mark Zuckerberg kicking in $500 million and using Facebook to silence the Hunter Biden laptop story and other conservative ideas. But Lichtman says, we've also had a time in America where there's been an explosion we've never seen before of some of the darkest trends in American history: misogyny, racism, xenophobia, anti-Semitism, and a woman of color was a very convenient target. Okay, so, hey, when I hear these kinds of things, I say, keep it up, just keep going, going, because you'll be gone, because America rejected this. And some on the left are rejecting it. I've never listened to this podcast, The Young Turks, but I know it's popular with a bunch of lefties out there. And there's a guy on it, Cenk Uygur, who engaged with Alan Lichtman yesterday on Piers Morgan's show. And oh my goodness, was it ever delicious to behold the catfight.
Don't blame the voters. I think, look, we could get into this discussion, but one, I think you're blaming the voters. I think that's a terrible idea. And look, I debated Professor Lichtman before. I told him his theories about the keys were absurd. I was right. He was wrong. I said he'd lose his keys.
No, you were
Couldn't
not
find
right,
them
and
before
I
the
was
election.
not wrong, and
And-
that's a cheap shot, and I won't stand for it.
Well, who won, brother?
You should not be
Who
taking
won?
cheap
Who
shots
won?
at me.
Who
You wanna
won?
make your
You
point,
live
make your
in a
point.
total
Don't make it
world of
personal.
denial.
I read your own followers' comments, and they all trashed you, every one of them, and supported me.
Yeah,
So
right,
quiet with your
right.
personal
Yeah,
attacks.
come find out again.
Make whatever
Okay.
point you want.
Yeah.
Don't
Look,
make it
you
personal.
don't know anything. You don't know
You
anything.
attacked me
You're
personally.
so
All
deluded.
right. I've only
Okay.
been a
Can I
professor
just-
for 51 years.
On this program,
published
I've never been
13
able
books.
to finish a
How many
thought.
books have you published?
Oh, and there you go. That's my favorite part right there. That's my favorite. And there's more. I'm going to go back to it in a minute. I've only been a professor for 51 years. I've published books. How many books have you published? Oh, don't you love the Democratic credentialism?
No, because you're personally
Yeah.
attacking me again. Say whatever you want, but I'm not going
Okay,
to stand
but
for
brother,
personal
you got it
attacks.
wrong.
Say
You were
whatever you want.
preposterously and stupidly wrong.
I
you
admitted
proved it.
I was wrong. I don't need you to call me stupid.
Okay.
I'll just say
What
it's
kind of
great to see
nonsense
you
is that?
Yeah, I
Democrats
know.
all getting
Who
along
taught
so
you
well.
manners?
Piers Morgan enjoying this as much as I am. He says it's great to see all you Democrats getting along so well. Yes. All right. Are you tired of it? I'm not either.
Hey, Alan, you deserve a tall glass of shut up juice. So can you just shut up for a second and let someone who knows what
Not
they're
if
doing?
you're
So
gonna
right
personally
here.
attack
Okay?
me.
You're so right. We're so
Make
unified
any
right
point
now.
you
Okay.
want.
So-
I will not sit here and stand
So-
for personal attacks, for blasphemy against me. You don't need to do that. You don't boost your
Blasphemy
ego
against
by
you? Who the hell are
attacking
you?
me
Are you
like that.
Jesus
Just
Christ,
make
you
your point.
loser? Okay, can
Make your
can I just give the correct answer for once?
Blasphemy. It's blasphemy. I love how Lichtman kept saying, make whatever point you want. And then the guy would say, you were wrong. Don't personally attack me. That's not a personal attack. It's a factual statement. You were wrong. Oh, and hopefully Lichtman will be wrong again, because guess what? Echelon Institute is out with a poll as to the Democratic frontrunner for 2028. Now, I know there's recency bias. How in the world is Kamala Harris on top of this poll? 41%? 41%. That's a beautiful thing. 41% of Democrats want her to be the nominee. 16% say they are unsure. Gavin Newsom is third. Tim Walz is fourth. Tim Walz, boy, oh boy, that's a photo finish right there. Who would I rather they run against, J.D. Vance or Tom Cotton or whoever the Republicans put up? Who would you rather have, Kamala Harris or Tim Walz? Yeah, bring Tim Walz back. Can you imagine the entry Tim Walz would make if they called his name at the Democratic National Convention? Our nominee is Tim Walz. Come on down. And he'd be waving and pointing and bowing. Here is the problem with the Democrats. They are directionless. And the Echelon Institute poll shows that. The poll says 15% said the Democratic Party should move to the left. More crazy. Double down more on transgenderism. Double down more on calling Republicans names and calling voters too ignorant to understand how good they have it when inflation soars to 9%. 15% say they should move to the left, while 18% say they should move to the right. So they can't come up with any consensus on how to right their listing ship. They are run aground. And I suppose that they will, at some point in time, recapture their mojo. But when the pendulum has swung as far left as it has, is there any hope that it'll ever swing back to the middle in just 4 years? I don't think that's really realistic. I really don't think that's realistic. And the other thing that I've said, which Democrats have denied, but which is inarguably true from the results of this poll, where you have Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom. How many people have left California under Gavin? How many businesses? Tesla, number one on that list. SpaceX. Everything's moving to Texas. Everything's moving out of California. The taxes are outrageous. San Francisco, open defecation and drug use on the streets. Gavin Newsom, please. They don't have Not even a deep bench. They don't have a bench. Oh, isn't it glorious?
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. This just in from Athens, Georgia. An illegal immigrant from Venezuela has been convicted of murder and the killing of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. 26-year-old Jose Ibarra had faced murder and numerous other charges in connection with the 22-year-old woman's death in February. The guilty verdict reached a short time ago by Athens Clark County Superior Court Judge H. Patrick Haggard. This was a bench trial. Ibarra had waived his right to a trial by jury. The U.S. vetoing a UN resolution calling for an immediate Gaza ceasefire. The U.S. voted down the resolution because it failed to link the truce to the release of all hostages still being held by Hamas. The Pacific Northwest is taking a pounding from a powerful storm, a bomb cyclone generating gale force winds, along with flooding rains. More details at srnnews.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-9534. That's 800-298-9534. 800-298-9534.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
This is Josh Pick with Aptus Wealth Management. The U.S. and the world have certainly changed a lot in the last few years. We're facing money dangers that we haven't seen in a long time, maybe ever. Inflation continues to be a problem. Interest rate increases have made purchases like cars and homes seemingly impossible for some, and retirement looks like a scary proposition. For many, it appears to be a dire situation and has left them paralyzed and fearful. You are not helpless, and there are ways to gain back control. At Aptus, we help our clients navigate the labyrinth of retirement planning and educate them on how to make appropriate choices for their individual situation. Whether you have never met with a fiduciary investment advisor before, or you just want a second opinion, we're here to help. Call our office today at 614-917-1040 and learn how a cost-free complimentary meeting may be the key to putting your money to work and your mind at ease. And don't forget to listen to the Aptus Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
ProView Remodeling, Ohio's #1 choice in sunroofs, windows, doors, decks, sidings, patios, porches, basements, and bathroom remodels. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 25% off or 60 months, 0 interest. That's right, 60 months, 0 interest. Call or text 7 days a week, 614-756-3140. You win with ProView Remodeling, 614-756-3140. Check us out at ProViewRemodeling.com.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley, and I hope you'll join me every day, 11 to 1, for the Bruce Hooley Show. A lot of consequential issues that we have to talk about. It's a transformational time in our country, and you want to understand all the issues. That's what I hopefully help you do. Bruce Hooley Show, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday on 989theanswer.com.
Christmas is coming up, and MyPillow products make a great gift because you want to get something for someone that they will use and appreciate and maybe remember you as the person who gifted it to them. That is the case with MyPillow products, all of them. Not just limited to the MyPillow itself, but boy, the deals are almost too good to resist at MyPillow.com. When you use my promo code Bruce, a standard MyPillow is under $15. A queen size MyPillow is under $18, and a king size MyPillow is under $19. So how do you get those prices? When you go there, that's not what the prices say. Are you telling me a fib, Bruce? No, I'm not. You put my promo code into the bar where it asks you for a promo code. Just put promo code Bruce in there and watch the prices drop. Now, don't stop with pillows. You can also get Giza Dream bed sheets, mattress toppers, towel sets, and other things to make your getting ready for bed or your in bed and sleeping experience even better. MyPillow.com, promo code Bruce. As heard in the Salem News update at the bottom of the hour, Jose Ibarra, the Venezuelan illegal alien, has been found guilty by a Georgia judge of murdering Laken Riley. She was the student, not at the University of Georgia, but she was a nursing student at a nearby college who went out for a run, was stalked and assaulted and murdered by this illegal. They had him on tape doing it, disposing of the jacket, rather. They had his DNA under her fingernails. They had wounds on his body. I said the other day when I was talking about Jen Psaki and her defense of boys playing girls sports, there are some things I just could never do. And I know it's important that everybody gets a defense in court, but when I heard this the other day from Jose Ibarra's court-appointed attorney, I just wanted to throw up.
The evidence in this case is graphic and it's disturbing. People have used this case for their own personal gain, financial gain, political gain. The evidence in this case is very good that Laken Riley was murdered. The evidence that Jose Ibarra killed Laken Riley is circumstantial.
No, it wasn't only circumstantial. It was open and shut. Her DNA on his body, her DNA on the hat that he was wearing, his DNA under her fingernails, video of him disposing of her coat in a dumpster. I know you got a job to do, man, but boy, you got to make peace with God over the things you've done. But that's just ridiculous. And this case captivated America, and it was a big part of why Donald Trump got elected president. Not just Laken Riley, but Rachel Morin, the mom of 5 in Maryland, Ruby Garcia, little girl in Michigan, Jocelyn Ungary, little girl in Houston, Texas, many, many more. These are just the women who've been murdered by illegal aliens. How many young people have been sexually assaulted? How many property crimes have been committed? This is why Donald Trump is committed to deporting illegal aliens. We already have over 1 million who have their deportation papers. And this is going to be a test of the stiffness of the spines of Republicans who are engaged in this effort. Now, I don't have any doubt that Tom Homan, who is Trump's new border czar, is the kind of pit bull you need. Democratic mayors, Democratic governors, people with non-governmental organizations who have been funded robustly by the Biden administration over the last few years in this decidedly treasonous allowance of illegal aliens to come into our country in millions and millions of cases. They're all going to fight this. And they're all going to try to make it as ugly a fight as possible. Right now, the polls show that the American people support this deportation effort because they want their country back. They want the jobs back. They want their tax dollars back. They do not want illegal aliens advantaged over U.S. citizens. And yet, while the law is on the side of the deportation efforts, and if you are in the country illegally, you are in the country illegally, then it should be something that Republicans don't have a hard time staying invested in. Tom Homan does not sound to me like he is going to have a hard time staying invested in it. Here he is talking about the people who are going to fight ICE agents and others who come into their cities to gather up illegal aliens who have been convicted of crimes, who are in jails, who are easy to pluck out of American society to increase the safety and security of American cities.
They don't help us get the hell out of the way, we're going to do it. If I got to send twice the amount of resources to that city, that's what we're going to do. If they would give us access to the jail, that would mean less agents in the community. For them pushing back and not letting us in the jail, it just means more agents are going to be in the community, so they're hurting themselves.
Yeah, he's right about that. I mean, if you cooperate, you'll have less of a federal presence in your community. Trump has said he will use the National Guard and he will use the U.S. military to pull off this deportation effort. And I know, you know, this will feed the he's using his military. We told you, dictator, all this kind of stuff. Here's what you're going to expect to hear and will hear from crazy people like Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson.
He is a threat to everything that is sensible. Stop playing games with the people of this country. We're certainly not going to let him play games with the people of this city. He wants to work with us, he'll have a partner. But if he wants to come and threaten us, then he has declared opposition to us.
He's not attacking people of this country. That's the point, idiot. He's attacking people from other countries who are in this country illegally. Brandon Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, who somehow managed to be a worse mayor of Chicago than Lori Lightfoot. He was smacked down by his own city council or city commission by a 50-0 vote. You watch video of Chicago mayoral proceedings and city council meetings where black residents of the city of Chicago are screaming at Brandon Johnson about the amount of money that he has spent on illegal immigrants to the detriment of the black citizens of the city of Chicago. It's not just mayors, it's governors like Arizona's Katie Hobbs.
We will not be participating in misguided efforts that harm our communities. It tears families apart, and that's not gonna happen on my watch.
Not going to happen on your watch. That's an American governor who is standing in the way of the protection of her citizens. This is why we need a Matt Gaetz as the Attorney General. This is why we need someone like Matt Gaetz. Because when they're putting out there that they're going to resist an issue that got Donald Trump elected, you're going to need somebody in charge of the Justice Department who is willing to fight at whatever level has to be fought to get this done and to preserve our country. Because here's the thing. Howard Lutnick was appointed the Commerce Secretary yesterday. One of the things that Howard Lutnick has to get done, well, he was nominated as Commerce Secretary. Howard Lutnick, he's on Trump's transition team. You've seen him, balding guy with a silvery black beard. One of the things Howard Lutnick must get done, is to reorder the U.S. Census so only citizens count. Because right now, the U.S. Census counts in all states residents, not legal residents, residents. And so if California and New York and other states where there are millions of illegals can count them as citizens, how does that impact our electoral process? The amount of congressional seats a state gets is based upon population, not upon legal population, but upon population. So we have to get these people out and we have to change the way the census is counted. And that falls under the Commerce Department, and that is Howard Lutnick's role at Commerce. He's got a lot of other roles, but that is part of his role. It's not just Brandon Johnson. Here's Boston Mayor Michelle Wu.
What will Boston's response be if these mass deportations take place?
Yeah, look, elections have consequences, and the federal government is responsible for a certain set of actions, and cities, no individual city can reverse or override some parts of that. But what we can do is make sure that we are doing our part to protect our residents in every possible way, that we are not cooperating with those efforts that actually threaten the safety of everyone by causing widespread fear and having large-scale economic impact.
So why are they fearful? Like, I'm not fearful. I'm not fearful they're coming for me. I'm not fearful they're coming for anybody in this office. I'm not fearful they're coming for anybody I know, because I don't know any illegals. She says, I'm not going to cooperate. I've never been elected mayor. Do you take an oath to uphold the law when you become a mayor? I presume you do. How can you defy the federal government? And I know I believe in federalism. I believe in limited national government intruding on state governments, but we have to have a country. We have to have borders. So we have to police immigration. And you have to fight on the same team. And these Democratic mayors and governors are on another team.
Breezy this afternoon, turning colder, the high 57, temperature sliding into the 40s. A shower in the area this evening, otherwise partly to mostly cloudy, breezy and cold, low 33. Windy and colder tomorrow, some snow, 1 to 3 inches, high 37.
1 to 3 inches.
Showers
That's
could make
miserable.
Snow early, the high 40.
Oh, I do not want snow.
Cloudy on Saturday.
I got to put my snow blade on tonight.
I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Man, that's a drag. Snow. November 21st.
Wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it. And
What do we got going on? I have time to put my snow blade on today.
Marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing
It's
incredibly
Thursday.
effective plans to reach your consumers day, night.
It appears I do.
might be.
Not that I'm looking forward to it.
See what Salem Surround can do for you? Google Salem Surround Columbus. Remember to Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
Hi, this is Ralph Drollinger, president and founder of Capital Ministries. I have the privilege of leading the Senate and House member Bible study every week in Washington, D.C. And I'm also the host
All right. Sound like Matthew McConaughey.
Capital Ministries Weekend. Listen along as we discuss the crossroads between the Bible and politics on a common basis.
Listen to Capital Ministries Weekend, Sunday mornings at 7:30 on 98.9 FM The Answer.
It's really simple. You log on to 989theanswer.com, search for the item you need, buy the certificate, and boom, you just saved at least half the price when you shop the Answers Discount Shopping Club. From mattresses and HVAC systems to half-price school tuitions, the Discount Shopping Club is an easy way for you to save half off or more on the things you can really use. Items come and go, and they're usually in limited supply, so start saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars today in the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
I'm living the life that I lived before I started having knee pain 10 years ago.
Meet Julie, a woman who makes the most of every moment in life. But over the last years, those moments were filled with agonizing pain until she discovered QC Kinetics.
Finally, the pain got so bad that people around me are like, oh, when are you getting your knee replaced? I was walking, hobbling. I listened to my last QC Kinetics commercial and I said, I'm done. I got to find out about this.
What Julie found out was that QC Kinetics treats pain associated with osteoarthritis with regenerative therapies, taking your body's own healing properties and concentrating them in the areas where you feel pain, helping heal and restore those damaged areas. No harmful steroids, surgery, or downtime.
It changed how I'm living. I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
Get back your life before the pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
You deserve the peace of mind that comes with affordable health insurance. Get Covered Ohio can help at no charge. Financial assistance is available and coverage is more affordable than ever. Some health insurance plans are as low as $10 or less a month. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends January 15th. Make your free appointment today by calling 833-628-4467 or visit getcoveredohio.org. This message is supported by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, but does not necessarily represent the official views of the U.S. government. Sponsored by the Ohio Association of Food Banks, aired by OAB and this station.
Hey, Joe, I thought you were retired.
Living on a fixed income is tough. So here I am.
I know. I mean, food prices are going up every day. Thank goodness for benefitscheckup.org.
Benefits what?
Benefitscheckup.org. It's a free website where people over 60 can find help to pay for food, medicine, even utilities. I got $1,200 a year in benefits. Maybe it can help you.
Well, the weather was lousy yesterday, but I had a great afternoon. I got to meet two Bruce Hooley Show listeners. Got to meet Dana, got to meet Robert, and Ruth finalized her order for new flooring in her lovely home. So I can help you with flooring. Holidays are coming up. Are we busy? Yes. Can we still get that flooring in before the holidays? Maybe, but if you tarry, the answer will be no. But that'll be okay because we'll get it in after the first of the year and you'll save money and get the same exact products that you get at other big box stores. But hey, you know, Dana and Robert and Ruth They got in, and they are now awaiting their beautiful new flooring. So you can go to brucehooley.com, click flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page, and get set up with all the major brands: Shaw, Anderson, Dreamweaver, and yes, Engineered Floors. We've got them all. You say, well, those are the same that I see in other big box stores. Yes, but you'll pay less for them and get them installed quicker. brucehooley.com, flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page. brucehooley.com, flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Now, it's not just mayors and governors who are fighting Trump's anticipated efforts to deport millions of illegals. It is also non-governmental organizations. And non-governmental organizations are fighting it because they're getting rich off of it. The Biden administration is paying these NGOs, as they are called, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And one of the organizations is called liftourvoices.org. liftourvoices.org. And it is headed by a person by the name of Julie Roginski. Here's Julie Roginski fighting for her economic survival and, not coincidentally, more illegals being able to remain in the United States of America.
I promise you, with every fiber of my being, because I'll probably be one of those people, that if anybody comes to these people and tries to drag them out by force, there will be protests. People like me, American citizens, who are going to stand there and do everything possible to prevent these women and children, which is all who these people are,
How about the criminals?
from being.
How about the terrorists? How about the
How do you sort through? How do you know who it is? Stop. I'm sorry. I live next to these people. I can tell you they are women and they are children. Are there terrorists among them? I don't know, but I can tell you that they're. But I can tell you. But let me tell. Okay, but what I'm telling you right now, practically speaking, is that there will be people, American citizens, who will prevent these little kids from being dragged out of these shelters. There are. And what's going to happen to these people? What is going to happen to the military when the military opens fire on us?
But no one's.
We're way down a rabbit hole.
Yes, there's Scott Jennings on CNN saying, the military firing on U.S. citizens. We are way down a rabbit hole. Yes, we are. That's the point. That's the point. Julie Roginski wants to go down that rabbit hole. She wants to paint a worst case scenario. She wants to tell you that all these illegals are just like kids and abuelas and others. Are there terrorists? I don't know. Well, that's kind of an important question. If there are terrorists embedded among the millions who have come across the border, coming from Uzbekistan and China and other places, why? I mean, I really can't identify with how clueless you have to be to not understand the level of danger that there is in allowing millions of unvetted people into the country, millions of gotaways into the country. But, if you were getting paid millions of dollars to do it, you probably are insulated from the fallout of the terrible policies that you were enabling. And Julie Roginski fits that description. Again, I underscore, that is why we need someone like, I'm not saying we need specifically Matt Gaetz, but we need someone like Matt Gaetz at the Department of Justice to fight in the courts to uphold what Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, and others are doing with Donald Trump's deportation plans. Now, I told you yesterday that Sherrod Brown, the vanquished by Bernie Moreno, 3-term senator from the state of Ohio, is already plotting his political comeback. That Sherrod Brown interviewed with the Politico. He interviewed with Politico, and he said he's ruling nothing out. So that means that he could run for governor in a couple of years, or he could run for senator when whoever Mike DeWine names to succeed J.D. Vance, as J.D. Vance ascends to the vice presidency, that person will have to run in the next Senate reelection cycle in 2026. And Sherrod Brown could run against that person. Sherrod Brown will be 73 at that point in time. I thought it was outrageous that he was running at 71 to serve until he was 77. He's apparently on the Biden plan and the Pelosi plan. He wants to serve until he's 80. Okay, but Sherrod Brown, in his interview with Politico, talked about how Democrats have to get back to respecting the working man. They gotta got to be the fighter for the working man. I've been a fighter for the working man my whole life. Well, what about the Democrats and the working man? Apparently, they don't have much loyalty to people who work for them. The Democratic National Committee is facing backlash after laying off staff members with just 1 day's notice and no severance. You say, wow, what's your source on that, Bruce? It would be the Twitter page of the DNC Staff Union. You knew they were going to be unionized, right? Of course. Here is what the tweet says. A betrayal of party values. DNC Staff Union statement on staff layoffs. November 18th, the statement says. The Democratic National Committee is facing the fallout of callous and short-sighted mismanagement by senior leadership. You mean being $20 million in debt after raising $1.5 billion in your campaign is indicative of short-sighted management by senior leadership? Who would have thought such a thing? Back to the state. Starting Wednesday night, permanent employees were notified of their termination with no severance pay. DNC leadership refuses to disclose to the DNC Staff Union the full extent of these layoffs and whether additional cuts are planned. Oh, this is good. Let's keep reading. These cuts go far beyond typical campaign turnover and impact employees who were previously told their positions would be retained after the election. Some of these Democratic operatives who have been fired have worked for the DNC union for decades. They got word they were fired on Wednesday night. They can work until Friday, but they will not get any severance, which is really a strange position for the Democratic Party to take when they claim to be, Chuck Schumer claimed it yesterday, that they are still, and they've done it. He said they did a really good job in this election of articulating the values and their compassion for working people. Well, I hope Chuck Schumer sticks to that. I hope Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, from Sherrod Brown all the way to whoever they run in 2028, hopefully Kamala Harris or Tim Walz, I hope they stick to the fact that running prices up to exorbitant levels with 40-year highs in inflation, including gas and groceries, which are stripped out of core inflation because, I mean, who needs gas and who needs groceries? Really, I mean, if you want an accurate metric of inflation, you can't have food in there and you can't have gas in there because nobody needs any of that. I hope Democrats stick to this, that they are serving the party, the party is serving the interests of working Americans. Because right there it is. The people who work for them, the people to whom you would think they would be most loyal, the people who would have the most airtight union contract you could ever have, right? I mean, if you work for the Democratic Party, they're going to give away the farm to the unions, their own union. Apparently, somebody dropped a ball in negotiations because if you can work for them for decades and you can be fired on Wednesday and you got to skedaddle from your office with a cardboard box and take the walk of shame out to your car on Friday and you don't get a single dollar of severance, something tells me that's not really worker friendly. And I love watching Democrats cannibalize themselves, whether it's with Alan Lichtman on CNN or Julie Roginski of the NGO making millions, or of the Democratic Union itself. 2 weeks, I'm still not tired of living on cloud nine.
The new administration has hinted at one of its boldest moves yet, America's return to the gold standard. Backing the U.S. dollar with gold would create stability in a time of rapid economic change, pushing the price of gold higher than we've seen in decades.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes hour number one. You can move to the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page or the 9890 Answer Facebook page and watch hour number two. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Hope you have an awesome day and hope you, like me, have a way to plow that snow tomorrow. Take care.
To take advantage of current rollover policies.